I consciously took steps to learn how to handle them and how to keep people at a distance, or how to isolate myself. I can put it that way. How to protect my energy. What is important, what is not important. Because when you asked me the question of calming your mind, all these questions come into picture.
Dear Nectareanz, welcome back to your podcast Nectarz Within, and I'm your CNK, and this podcast is all about mind, life, and soul.
I'm just a bit curious. You just told if there are 10 items you are learning every day, there are two, three things you learn from your daughter. Is there anything specific you like to share that you learned? Oh, wow, I learned it from my daughter. Is there anything that you'd like to share with our audience?
Yes, definitely. As I said, that vulnerable side I learned from my daughter. She doesn't know the word vulnerable, right? She doesn't know to term the what we are going through. But when I cry or when I break down, she is the first person from whom I understood what is toxic positivity. And now I can also tell that as a 8 year old or a 7 8 year old, this I'm telling what happened 2 years back. She doesn't know the term toxic positivity.
Of course, she's 3 years, 4 years.
Yeah, she just expresses. So she's telling me, you cannot be strong always.
Wow.
She said that. You cannot be strong always. It's okay. But you will get back, mummy. All that matters is, are we getting back to the track? This was one instance. And we at home, I talk to my daughter in the sense, if I am facing a creative block, or if my mind sometimes gives me suggestions that nothing is going to work out, what you're doing is totally a waste of time, and you're going to be an utter failure. uh, so it is all dark everywhere, there is no light ever. It gives me such suggestions. And one day, when I was in the couch, and I was getting these thoughts, good for nothing thoughts, and I tell my daughter that, okay, I'm having such thoughts. I tell that because I do this practice of labeling my thoughts or writing down my thoughts. So when I shared it, I asked her what I should do. My mind is giving me these thoughts, what I should do. She only she's reading a book, and she is not even looking at me. She's continuing to read the book, but she's listening to me. And she said, shut up your mind. And she's continuing to read. She didn't even look at me, or it is very casual. So here what I see is, I am not giving her the lessons or moral lessons of how to be strong, or what is toxic positivity, or it is okay to cry. I'm not giving any of these lessons. But through me, when I am showing my weakness, or when I am getting these negative thoughts, when that kid is telling me what I should do now, and she said, shut up your mind. Actually, we should shut up our mind. What else I can do? Either I can think that I'm a failure and stop everything, shut down my account and everything, or I can proceed, shut up my mind and proceed. She gave me the solution. Yeah, so that is the only choice we have, right? Either to shut our mind, or to think that, okay, I'm a utter failure, close all my accounts and not do the creative work or anything. So we will eventually, we have to shut our minds and do our work. And that solution came from a 7 or 8 year old child. Yeah.
Nice. Thank you, Shweta, for just sharing, your personal story with us. And I strongly believe, this is going to be so empowering, because we underestimate kids, but when we have this revelation that we learn day in and out, also from everything, not only kids, we can learn from the tree, rain, everything. That's a big learn and take up of people. I strongly believe in it.
I like that point of we learn from everywhere, from tree, mountains, rain. Yeah, I like that point. I do that. But I always think that am I the only one to think this differently? But I'm happy to know that know a similar thought process also.
Exactly. Actually, there's, I know, maybe on a lighter note, there's a Tamil song, where the lyrics just goes that the clouds are made out of a seawater, but then the clouds doesn't drop the seawater; it just use the fresh water. You got my point, It just, you may get hurt whatsoever, but then you just don't just, mask it, just because someone hurt you, not hurt back. You can still always be good to an extent, be responsive enough. This lesson I literally learned from the rainwater. That's what I just tell it.
Yeah, yeah. And I have a special connection with mountains. I'm a more of a mountain person. And with beaches, I see it as a depth, okay, element of depth. And when I was going through a very difficult time, I voluntarily go to, Kotagiri side or Uti side, the mountains. I just go there a couple of trips. And I feel like if I look at mountains, I feel it is it is very protective. I don't know why mountains gives me that feeling of protective. When I feel I am all alone, I'm lost. Mountains give me that feeling of protection, and I am a sky person also. So like sunset. So if whenever I look at sky, I feel there is something really big, bigger things more than us, and more than our troubles, and more than me as an individual.
Very, that's also true. That's a fact.
We always have the thought that we are the center of everything, and I am the only person saving the whole universe. But then, and we are not even a speck. So yeah, this complete the shift in the perspective, it's funny, but yeah, that's how it is.
Actually, the entire Milky Way is a speck in that context. And to just add on here, I'm a mountain person also. Like, I love mountain because I feel also have a sense of secureness when I go to mountains. I don't know why, but I just resonate in that way also. Like.
Yeah, and I can think of this incident of a couple of months back. We visited a museum, and we took a show in the planetarium. So it was like a 20-minute show, and that the instructor is giving that beautiful voiceover, and they are showing everyone is looking up, and they are actually, it made us feel that we are also traveling, and they're showing everything in that universe. So they are explaining. It is a 20-minute show, and the voice was so nice, the voiceover and the music. And my all my thought for the 20 minutes was, we came out, and when we were as a family, we were discussing. My only thought was, how small we are. Where are we here? I was not worried about what galaxy, whatever they told. They showed stars and everything. My only thought was, okay, we are nothing. Okay, we are nothing.
As your kid said, we got to just shut down when you are tense, just shut your mind down, which to translate it literally, just calm your mind. There's something to shut down in a calm your mind. I mean, that's when all these things happen. Learning from the sky, learning from the mountain, and how important you think the calming the inner self or the mind during the tense situation whatsoever, you know, how important it is. And do you also have a couple of tricks to calm down your mind in such way?
Very good question. And you have asked the right person, I think. I don't know. You should say, okay, down the lane after more podcast journeys.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You should have a special show and tell which question was answered best by the guest. So in that way, because the question is, you are talking to a very anxious person. I'm a very anxious person, um, but I have never seen that as, okay, I'm so anxious. No, I accept it. I am an anxious person. So for me, whenever I face unfavorable moments, whenever I am put into tense situations, I'm zero in handling them, right? Because this anxiety will take over. You cannot compare me with a person very calm and composed. No, anxious person handling a tense situation, we can even take a movie out of it. So it is like a roller coaster of emotions that is going to come out of me. So that's the person I am. But this was like, I would say, 2.5 to 3 years back. But this transformation, as I said, I see life in phases. But in the current phase I am, or I should say a year back, I learned, I consciously took steps to learn how to handle them and how to keep people at a distance, or how to isolate myself. I can put it that way. How to protect my energy. What is important, what is not important. Because when you asked me the question of calming your mind, all these questions come into picture. What is in my control, what is not in my control. When you start answering these questions consciously, it is another way of calming yourself. You're slowly zoning out. Otherwise, it was always, I feel like always I was a mess, be it within my mind and outside also. Even when I cook something, I don't cook. I think about what I should do next. What is the content I should write? Where did I stop? Why am I not doing anything? Though that dish is also going to come out well, that is by God's grace, I've got the talent, but still, I am not invested in what I am doing. That mindfulness was never there in my uh, life. No. But consciously, when I answer these questions, like labeling my emotions, what I am going through now, sometimes when I am very scared of trying something new, uh, Shweta has this, I think to myself, Shweta has this quality of handling her fears very well. That's a whole process that I developed for myself. And yet you will see me doing that new activity that I always planned to do. But was it without the fear? No. If I say I didn't have fear, I'd be lying. It is with fear, it is with that self doubt. But I was able to handle all them only because I learned how to calm myself. Only when I learned how to isolate myself, how to zone out, how to, once you zone out, once you isolate yourself, you start hearing to your inner voice. That inner voice will give that strength. So I believe that how much you are able to look inward will help you to move forward. It is not that with all the chaos that is inside the mind. Because see, why I'm saying is, I started my answer with that weakness side of me, and I would like to end my answer with that strength that I'm possessing now. But in between my answer, if you look in detail, you will see the words of finding out things in your control, focusing on your strengths, calming your zoning out, isolating yourself. Through all these, and writing your thoughts. Writing my thoughts was an activity which I thought was of no use when my physiotherapist had advised me to start writing my thoughts as a gratitude or a self reflection journal. Like everyone, I felt, what is there to write my thoughts? But I'll tell you, it is truly a life changing activity. Only if you do it sincerely with full consciousness and that genuine interest, you will see the full benefits of it. Labeling your emotions and writing your thoughts gives so much clarity to your mind. Today, even when I have so much to do in a day, even when I have to think creatively, write a script for a new video or anything of that sort, I am still able to, when I'm cooking, I give my full time in cooking. I take time for myself. So that mindfulness has come from this. So I think I'm not that very anxious now. And to add it here, I have learned to be very choosy and conscious in deciding to whom I'm sharing my energy with. I'm very particular there. to whom I share my thought process, to whom I'm sharing my regular day-to-day challenges or happenings. I have selective. I select people and I share with them. To someone to whom I look for content creation or to ask for feedback. Say I am a very good. I have a good friendship with my peers in my previous company. I don't go and share the content creation wise strategies or ideas. Similarly, life challenges. So I'll be very choosy with to whom I'm sharing. So all these small activities coupled together will slowly create that calmness within you. And as I said, I would like to reiterate, start looking inward. We always think that we have enemies outside. We always think that the whole world is against us when things do not happen as planned. We aim for something. When things don't go however we wanted it to proceed, we think that everything is against us. There is no way I can flourish. No, it is not that case. The main enemy is we ourselves. Once you turn that your once you shift your perspective and start looking inward, I'm sure there is so much you can clear. There is so much mess in us, and one by one, if we start clearing, you will see a huge shift in that clarity. And that's going to give you not no a clarity with respect to mental health or physical health. As a person yourself, the way you carry, the way you talk, the way you attempt things, everything, you will see that clarity.
You may just think I'm just buttering, but it's real. What I'm going to tell now, you this just reflects your mindset. You actually told something very extraordinary in a very simple way. That's what just to picking your own words. So the exact template or procedure to calm your mind is, you know, isolate yourself from the problem, zone out, and label your emotions, and write your feelings and thought process, and speak with yourself from third person perspective. And most importantly, try to judge what is in your control, what is not in your control, and try to think only on the aspects which is in your control. Share your energy with the right person, and most importantly, look inward and one at a time. You know, just gave a complete guide for calming down. That's so awesome of you.
Dear Nectarians, thank you for listening. I really appreciate your time. I hope you liked it. And if you think it resonates with you somehow, please share, subscribe, and like the video. And forget not to click on the bell icon. And please leave your insights in the comment section. Can't wait to read them. And with that note, thank you, thought then, namaste, and vanakkam. Let's spread our sparks and spread our nectars.